Introduction. Hi there, and welcome to a mini-series of videos from Tools Club. This mini-series, the 2020 approach to the 2021 UK border, is part of an overall series of videos called A Customs and Standards Primer. And we're at the start of part 2 of A Customs and Standards Primer, a work in progress. But versions are available with or without background music. You might like to check out the video descriptions to find out more. So, what to expect? We cover these topics here. This journey is made up of a string of short videos and explores conventions, patterns of imports and exports, plus how these relate to new software and border controls implemented by the UK government. Also included 1 or 2 brief history lessons on the development of a regulation or two, all of which culminate in the 2020 plan for the new UK customs border controls. This video discusses customs controls to be released in 2021 at the UK border. If you don't know what any of these items are, then you should watch this particular video down here. But after all these other ones, they're not perfect, but you might understand the UK approach to the border a bit better that way. But other videos follow as well, under the umbrella of preparations, in subsequent videos after this one. Still on the subject of UK preparations, I also look at other actions taken by the UK government to help traders prepare for the end of transition. So, let's start by going on gov.uk/transition. And we'll download the UK border operating model. It's a PDF file. We can find it in one of the announcements. Scrolling down. And this one. Government publishes updated GBEU border operating model. Open that. News story. Scroll all the way down. And click that. Border operating model. Great. Scroll down. And click that. Fab. This border operating model is yet another feat of achievement from the UK government. Hurrah! The first iteration, published on the 13th of July 2020, contained the core model. This second version, in PDF format, is 138 mostly landscaped A4 sheets, with 2 pages per sheet. And we can't use the given page numbers to search for pages, but that's fine, doesn't slow us down. This download contains the core model, but also, we see what's new and changed from the 13th of July. It's packed with information about the UK border with the European Union. But before we start, I just want to say, as Tools Club is a site for beginners, or simply for those wishing to pass the time, I try to keep things simple. And yes, there is a vast amount of information I have omitted. And that's nice. So, I've got to say, if you really want to properly learn all this stuff, become an expert etc., then belt and braces. What does that mean? My videos are not a replacement for the real thing. If you are watching these videos because they have some importance to you, or some crossover with your work or education, then be sure to download your own copy of this PDF and use it as a reference. My sincere wish is that my videos can help you absorb the official guidance and material more easily and faster than otherwise. But like everybody else, I am prone to mistakes. So, the best way to learn is to use your copy of this document to keep a close eye on my work. I'm not going to use this PDF right now though, but I will in later videos. In any case, plug in your ears and stay sharp and frosty. On the other hand, if you are just watching for fun, then sit back, relax, get comfortable. So, ready? Great, here we go. To start with, the Lisbon Treaty, UCC, and customs inventory linking. So, we are going to briefly explore the emergence of customs controls. As a heads up, the story of the emergence of customs controls runs closely and parallel to the development of goods movements. And in the next video, we go farther back in time, when we look at the development of goods movements. For now, the emergence of modern customs controls. Hurrah! And I conjure you to drift back to 2009. Do that, and whilst you're not looking, I'll do a quick search. And the Lisbon Treaty. The Lisbon Treaty. What is that? It's an agreement, eventually signed by all the countries of the European Union, and which came into force in 2009. In simple terms, the Lisbon Treaty strengthened and legitimized centralized democracy in the EU. In other words, a voting process for legislation, but also including other areas that would fall under control of the democratic European Parliament. In brief, the purpose of the Lisbon Treaty is to enhance the internal security and the democratic processes of the European Union, as well as to improve the efficiency and coherence of many of its internal systems, and all through a process of centralized voting for legislation. And rather randomly, I found this report too. Fab. Let's wing it. Okay, great. But pause where you like. And jumping to the third page down, we see some legal stuff. And we see the UCC is a product of the Lisbon Treaty. The Lisbon Treaty gave rise to many things. In 2016, one of these was the Union Customs Code of the EU, or UCC. The UCC was a recasting of a 2005 proposal, called the Modernized Customs Code, or MCC. What does that mean? Okay, quickly. A recasting of legislation is where a proposed bill, or even an existing act of law, has amendments made to it, via a legal voting process, which if successful, is then subsequently adopted as a legal act, repealing or replacing any previous versions. Scrolling up a bit. The Union Customs Code, UCC, also known as Regulation, EU, 952/2013, seeks to modernize customs processes, by adapting compliance systems, to modern trade realities such as the global integration of production and delivery systems, e-commerce and modern communication tools. As an aside, UCC compliance systems are known as inventory-linked systems. Why is that? Inventory-linked systems facilitate all aspects of goods movements, including from purchasing, to orders, delivery, and storage, and absolutely everything in between. You name it, it's there, and if it is not, it can be added. Such an inventory is comprised of multiple phases. And different phases may be supported by different systems too, but all under one big inventory-linked umbrella. Such systems allow you to manage and keep up to date with your stock movements on a global scale. And Chief is the traditional example of an inventory-linked system, and CDS is now another such example. However, it is known that, to boost efficiencies, inventory-linked systems need to be connected to the office software used by individual businesses. Well, I guess UCC encapsulates all aspects of an inventory-linked system, including the linking of a customer's own computer system, directly to the UCC inventories of customs authorities. This thus allows, for example, a trader to enter details of a declaration, directly into their own computer records, whilst simultaneously notifying customs. This essentially describes a simplified procedure called Entry in the Declarant's Records, or EIDR. And UCC is scalable, for global enterprise-size businesses, warehousing, but can scale down for small business too. And we discuss warehousing in future videos, but specifically, customs inventory-linked systems does more. It protects the economies and populations of the EU. And we'll see more on this shortly. Before that, it's possible, you might see the term, non-inventory-linked ports or warehouses. Today such places may still operate paper-based, or standalone, customs systems, but it's likely, they will soon transition to inventory-linked systems. And getting back on track. Some UCC basics. The UCC maps out the creation of 17 electronic systems. All supporting phases of a goods movement, no doubt. But, ignoring all the technical details. In 2016, the first basic change was that all communications were now to be made using electronic data processing systems, unless given exceptional circumstances. But building on this, the UCC systems facilitate the flow of goods in and out of the Union. And the efficiencies enhance the competitiveness of European businesses, whilst better protecting the financial and economic interests of the Union and member states, as well as the safety and security of EU consumers. To meet these objectives, the UCC establishes common rules and data requirements for customs safety and security declarations, all other types of notifications, as well as applications and decisions made relating to customs procedures. Scrolling down a bit, we see, in addition to this, the UCC also embraces the modern electronic business environment, but hand in hand with evolving legislative provisions, not only delivering ever more efficient customs controls, but also strengthening policing measures against security challenges, safety challenges, illegal cash movements, counterfeit goods, and more. And that's nice. What about the UK? Is the UK using inventory-linked systems? Yes. After a consultation with UK businesses and industries, in 2014 and 15, HMRC came to the conclusion that inventory linking processes could be installed at most locations in the UK, but that these would have to be run in tandem with other bespoke solutions, here and there, that were needed for exceptional cases. At this time, most large airports and ports already cleared goods through customs electronically, but there were a number of customs-approved ports and airports that did not operate inventory linking, some still using paper-based systems. Jumping back to our border policy, just for a moment, and search for page 22. Other import facilitations. You might wish to keep this in mind when we discuss the temporary storage model in a short while. And in the run-up to the 1st of January 2020, we see temporary storage facilities that are not part of an existing inventory-linked community will be able to temporarily operate without an inventory-linked system in place until the 1st of July 2021. They will still be required to have control over their facility and keep effective records. And keeping effective records involves recording activities as well as data. Keeping it simple. What sort of activities does UCC record? Okay. Very briefly. Customs Inventory Linking Exports API. And taking customs warehousing as our example. Inventory linking in custom storage and temporary storage areas, controls and monitors cargo moving through temporary storage facilities. These systems can also allow the movement of consignments through customs frontiers too, depending on circumstances. Often, trader or haulier consignments may need storage, and therefore, consignment storage references. In any case, inventory linking systems need to be able to issue, track, and update consignments and references, and cater for all eventualities. There are many types of functions, and we see just 3 basic types of warehouse and storage functions. The consolidation functions. This enables the combining of consignments into one master consignment, or the splitting of a consignment into multiple consignments. The movement functions. This records the movement of consignments into, out of, between, or within different customs-controlled storage facilities. The query functions. And this allows the querying of data held within the inventory linking database. FAB. That's where we end UCC. In the next video. The Common Transit Convention, or CTC. Great.